What's up, everybody? Mr. Poizon here. As many of you know, I injured my back about a month ago. I injured my back during a tattoo session, and I'm in a lot of pain right now. I'm blessed to be able to be walking around. Anyway, so what I want to do is I just want to share some inspirational messages with you guys to encourage you guys. And if there's anybody out there that, if you come from the streets just like I did, I was pretty much raised in the Aliso Village projects in LA, and I didn't realize I was poor until I realized that I was poor growing up. But I want to tell you guys a story. I call it Learning to Fall on the Sword. In 1996, I had just got out of prison. I beat a serious case. I had assault with a deadly weapon on the police officer. LAPD pulled up on us in the neighborhood. Me and my wife were out there drug dealing. But they wanted to harass us. They put their hands on my wife. We weren't married at the time, but that was my baby mama, And they put their hands on my wife and ended up giving her a bloody nose. I went off. I snapped on these cops. Anyways, I beat that case, and when I got out, I decided that I want to get married. And I started attending a church. The pastor required me to come to his church. He said, if you want to get married in my church, I need you to sit 12 Sundays in my church, and I need you to come to 12 weeks of marriage counseling. And I did that. I used to go to church with a gun, you guys. I used to sit in the back of the church with a gun. I didn't trust a soul. Anyways, I got my first apartment. Me and my wife, we had 4 kids at the time. And I got my first real job. And I was still on parole. So, one day my parole agent says to me, she says, every time you come in here, you got a new piece of jewelry or a new necklace. I want to come to your job, and I want to make sure that you're really working. I was like, oh man, because I had lied on my application at my job. I had been working at this job for 6 months. Everything was going well, and so I was super afraid, man. So guess what I had to do? I had to go back to my job, and my boss at the time was a gentleman by the name of Henry Stimson, big old white man. And I asked to have a meeting with him. So that was on a Friday. So I walk in his office, I have a seat, and he was all business. He didn't have time to play around. So he's like, okay, talk to me, let's go. And I said, you know what, Henry, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to work here. And I was kind of getting choked up. And he's like, come on, man, just tell me what's going on. I said, you know what, Henry, I just got out of prison 6 months ago, and I lied on my application when I got hired here. My parole agent wants to come here and verify that I have a job. And I kind of felt like I was going to get fired, and I just told him, you know what, I'm sorry. And, I had a tear coming down my eye, because I felt like I had let him down. He says, stop right there. Stop right there, Tony. I wish I had 10 more guys just like you. I was like, what? All my life I was so used to getting the door slammed on my face. But when he said to me, I wish I had 10 more guys like you, I was like, wow, are you serious? And he says, you go back and you tell your parole officer that we'll be ready for her on Monday morning. Now, when I first started working at this company, I felt like I had everybody there against me because of my background. I was on parole. I was a gang member. I come from the projects. And I had all these people there that sometimes would look down their nose at me and, felt like This guy, who's this guy? Why is he working here? Why did they hire him? He's from the ghetto. He's from the hood. And now you got this white man from Altadena sticking his neck out for me. I learned that day that some of us, we have to learn how to fall on the sword. That comes from the Bible, you guys. There's a guy by the name of Jonathan in the Bible who God put in King David's life to protect him. One day Jonathan found himself on the battlefield and he was surrounded by his enemies. And rather than be taken captive, he chose to take his own life by falling on his own sword. And King David, when King David saw that, he honored him and he said, how the mighty have fallen, you know. For some of us, me and you, some of you are afraid to fall on the sword. You're afraid to let people know where you come from, or you're allowing where you come from or your background, your history, to stop you from opportunities that are there for you. That day I learned that God will put people in your path that are going to help you on purpose. There's going to be people that God's going to put in your life that are going to want to help you. But you got to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to open up and admit that you don't have the best background, the best experience, the best education. And I learned that day the worth of being honest. And I fought back tears, trust me. I thought I was going to lose my job. I had just got married. I just got my first place. And I thought I was going to lose it all, man. But you know what? I was honest. And that man looked me in my face and said, you know what? I'm going to help you. And I hope that all these people out there in the office don't like it. You know? So learn to be honest. It's okay. It's okay where we come from. There's going to be people that are going to come into your life that are going to be willing to help you and stick their neck out for you. But you got to be willing to fall on the sword. So learn to fall on the sword, everybody. If I've made anything of myself, I didn't get here alone. God has put people in my life that came into my life and mentored me, encouraged me, inspired me, and helped me to see things in myself that I didn't see. So I just want to share that with you guys. This is what I'm going to be doing until I'm back to tattooing. I hope I can inspire you. I don't care where you come from. I'm really talking to the homeboy and the homegirl from the streets. I'm talking to those of you that come from the gangbanging background. I'm talking to you that come from broken homes, drug addicted parents. That's who I'm talking to. But I might be talking to the educated as well. Sometimes we limit ourselves, you know. But don't let that happen any longer, right? I'm just telling you this because I don't know why. But I have this love inside me, you know. So I hope that that you're encouraged today, all right? Love you, Mr. Poizon. Hmm.